if they have become us. And so that's what the spiritual warfare we're in now is about. That's what this discussion is about, is that our spirituality should trump their barbarism. The ancient city of Aksum in Ethiopia. It is in this complex here that this thing that the so-called Hebrews call the Ark of the Covenant, which they can't produce for nobody. The Ethiopians said they can't produce it because we got it. And each of the Ethiopian temples is another picture of that same, the modern part of that temple. And this is a close-up of the temple where they say this ark is being kept. There's a big electric fence around all of this, which we can't see in the photos, and soldiers with machine guns and stuff that guards it. So they got something up in there that they're not letting the world into. And in each of their temples, their churches, what they call their mother churches, they have a replica of that ark in the Holy of Holies, where only the priests can go. I put this here because we wanted to look at it again, refamiliarize ourselves, especially because tomorrow is going to be Good Friday. And last week you had Palm Sunday. And next Sunday you're going to have Easter. So this is the original African mother and child. This is the Ethiopian version of the black mother and child. And this is what we got coming out of Europe, the white mother and child, which have now been imposed on the whole world through the barrel of a gun. In the history of Christianity in ancient Africa, St. Catherine's Monastery in Egypt, which is south of Sinai, is 335 A.D. You remember, it's 325 A.D. when they come up with the Bible, right? When they start writing the Bible, they really don't come up with it for another 70 years or so. So here's this monastery, which is already there, and they don't even have a Bible yet. So what's this about? What are they teaching then? So they're teaching the same Kemetic body of information, and they're breaking it down to fit this modern people that have now invaded our lands via the invasion of first the Hyksos, 1700 BC, then the Hittites, and then following the Assyrians, and then that's following the Persians, and then that's followed by the Greeks, and that's followed by the Romans. Well, none of them ever go back home after being defeated, so the remnants of these people are now in our land, and our elders and priests is trying to interpret our body of knowledge in a format to teach it to these invaders' children who are now being born and grown up in our land for centuries. You know? And then there's another great building, the ancient Coptic Church, and the elders, which is the eldest of all Christian church. Now, the ancient Coptic Church today is headquartered in Egypt. And I'm going to show you something on the next slide that should help your mind understand. The ancient Coptic Church came about when Constantine called the Nicene Conference and called many of the brothers who was teaching this African spiritual wisdom together that was now under the Roman invasion and domination to try to put together a document that would be common for the entire Roman empire. And that document comes out to be what we call the Bible today. And according to the Pope before this Pope, 7 of the 10 men writing that document were Africans. And so the Coptic Church, a brother named Arius and his followers, break away from that discussion in Nicaea that Constantine is having because they disagree with the notion that Jesus is the Son of God and born to the earth, and God came down and walked as a man. They said that was ridiculous. They disagreed with that. Their concept was that all human beings have the potentiality of the divinity. And so they escape and they go back, they make it back to Egypt. Arius, their leader, will be murdered later on, but the movement that becomes known as the Coptic Church continues till this day. Now, this is the Coptic Church, Christ and his disciples being depicted as African. This is one of the oldest painting of Christ and his disciples anywhere in the world, and it is in the Coptic Museum in Cairo.